All right, there we go. Look, I'm not going to be able to be on tonight on the round table. I got work tonight, so I just want to give some of my thoughts here really quick, and we'll see what can be done or whatnot. Let me. All right. First of all, round one. How's it going, Jesus Sam? Shout out to you, brother. How's it going, guys? How's it going? Um, hit the like button. If you're listening on archive, hit the like button. You know what I mean? Just do. Hit that bell button so you're notified when I come on live. And also every Monday, Hispanics causing panic. Make sure you guys are there. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys tune in every Monday. We'll be on the same time for the next 2 weeks, 1 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys, check that out. Man, me and Calix, you know what I mean? Shout out to Luna Tune Boxing, Look, a couple of things. First of all, I want to address from my last live the Ray Glacier 61,000 claim, right? I stand by what I said. Like, you guys can keep coming. Like, everything you're saying, everything. Let me go over some of the comments some of the comments I've received, okay? Let me go over them right now with you. Let me go over it with them. Let me go over them with you right now. That was I'm calling bullshit Tank 50K pay-per-view buys claim. That's how I felt. Have we heard a response from Tank's team? Whether we have or haven't doesn't say anything about the numbers that regulation put out. Nando says he's never heard of any pay-per-view fights buys doing multiples if it's quote unquote free re-airing TV ratings. Typically, it's the opposite. Well, let's go by your word. Typically, maybe you're right, but the replays just don't do what they used to do. This is not the days of HBO like that. A lot of people have already seen the replay on YouTube. They've already seen the replay on social media platforms. They've seen the stoppage already, right? So it is what it is. We're not going to take it with a grain of salt. The replay did low numbers for sure, right? But I'm not sure how much that tells us. Rick says he gets his numbers from this is from Mollywop. Rick says he gets his numbers from a showbiz attorney who gets the numbers because of brokers' sponsorships. Something along those lines. I believe the numbers, he was the first to predict numbers many times, and those numbers were confirmed. You cannot confirm numbers you predict. You could be accurate in your prediction, but that's not how that works. Wilder's against Helenius, for example. Everybody said Wilder Helenius wasn't going to sell shit. What does that mean? Again, we're going by stuff that has nothing to do with the Tank Davis fight. We're bringing up Wilder. He predicted the Wilder numbers correctly. He said they were going to do over 100,000. He was right. Like I'm just saying. JJ, Tank's fight in LA was a sellout, but all the seats in the Staples Center weren't available for sale. We got to look into that, right? Because like I said, I can't rule out that the 5 million is an inflated number, right, for the gate. But I just want to see some evidence of that. Is all I'm saying. Gus, nobody bought this fight. With all the big HC streaming sites, no one is going to pay for non-pay-per-view fights. But rich celebrities still want to go to the fight because they know it's going to be a good fight and knockout. Again, rich celebrities go to a lot of boxing fights. Like, they go to a lot of UFC events. Yet I still 99.9% of the time, the gate does not do as much as the pay-per-view revenue. What's going on, Remy? How's it going, brother? All right, how's it going? 92 Aku. It was also his hometown area, DC. That's different than pay-per-view market. Bud and Jose can sell out Omaha and Fresno, but how many pay-per-views can they sell versus random Russian? when Bud Crawford fights in Omaha and he does a pay, let's say it's on pay-per-view, the pay-per-view is going to do more than the gate in Omaha. My point still stands. Shout out to Riding Yogi. How's it going? The one and the only. 92 AKU. Hector Garcia is not a name. Neither was Mario Barrios. Neither was Pitbull Cruz. Like, I'm just putting that out there. Like, this is not showing us anything. He wasn't a household name, and it still did $5 million at the gate. You're saying, yeah, I'm not saying Rick is right, but it's believable. 150 to 200K, not believable for many reasons, he says. Hey, that's your opinion. 92 AKU, it's not a pay-per-view fight, period. I agree with you. You're saying no other news outlet confirming it. Maybe they don't have the connection Rick has. Very convenient. Right? A very convenient thing to say. I don't know who's calling me, but we're not going to answer that. When they are bad numbers, it's hard to find. Maybe so. They're not putting the numbers out there. I understand that. I do believe the numbers are not that great. I just don't believe they're as low as Rick Glacier is putting them out. I'm just saying. Lionel Andre Watson. Rick loses credibility more and more. He comes off as pure PBC hater, which hurts him. He should be more reasonable with his approach. However, a journalistic on another podcast reported the same pay-per-view numbers that Rick had for other fights in the past. And who's this journalist? Who is this journalist and how does he know? Like you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Mr. SRT. If you're a boxing fan and have a brain, then you can do the math and know that no one asked for this fight, so it did this slow. Is that too hard to understand? Math isn't an opinion or a feelings thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about, like, you don't feel math. You can't say, my math tells me that no one wanted to watch this fight. Yet it did $5 million at the gate. A fight that nobody wanted to watch. $5 million at the gate is a figure. That's numbers. When I say 99.9% of the time, the pay-per-view revenue does more, and more often than not, more than double what the gate does, for reasons I already stated in the previous video. I invite anybody to go back and listen to that video. Those are figures. Those are not my feelings. When I say the first Canelo Golovkin fight, it did over 1 million buys. It did the most of all 3 fights, and it had the highest gate of all 3 fights. The second fight, it had the second highest gate, the second highest pay-per-view revenue. The third fight, third highest gate, third highest revenue. Those are figures. That's not, well, I like the first fight better, so I feel it did more. No. We can't feel. You can't tell me how you feel and how you personally feel and in your, like, you just know. No, that's not how it works. Explain to me why a $5 million gate means for a fight that nobody, quote unquote, wanted to see. Explain to me how that happened. And explain to me why this fight would do what 99.9% of other pay-per-views in history, why it wouldn't do what those other fights did. People keep bringing up Wilder Helenius. Wilder Helenius did more on the pay-per-view than at the gate. That's not that hard to understand. More on pay-per-view than on the gate. That's all I want to know. Explain to me how that happened. Stop telling me how you personally didn't like that. I didn't like the fight either. I didn't like the pay-per-view either. I don't think it was pay-per-view worthy. But that's my opinion. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Oh, I don't know anybody about the fight. So, Your anecdotal evidence means nothing. It means nothing to me. First of all, this is why anecdotal evidence doesn't work, because people lie anyway, right? First of all, it's a microscopic. It's very insignificant, all right? And second, a lot of people lie. Oh, I don't know anybody about it. Okay, cool. Maybe you're telling the truth, or maybe you're lying. I don't fucking know. How about we're just gonna go by the raw data? You know, some people said, hey, this is just an anomaly. Tank's an anomaly. He does good at the gate, not on the pay-per-view. That's totally possible. But then we have to explain the Mario Barrios pay-per-view doing over 200,000 and this one doing as low as it did. We have to explain those things. And the explanation needs to make sense. Like, you can't just say, if it apply, it has to apply across the board. Oh, no, well, the economy's bad. Okay, then I want to see every pay-per-view. I don't know that the economy being bad means that 19,000 people will show up to an arena and generate a gate of 5 million, but then for some reason they won't buy the fight on pay-per-view. To at least get to a gate, at least over 5 million. I'm sorry, a revenue pay-per-view of over 5 million. I'm not here to tell people that there was a high demand for this fight. I'm just saying I find these numbers I'm very skeptical about these numbers. Let's got to be honest with you. Andre Rodriguez, Chicano Prophet in the building. How's it going? Our team Batman Boxing, Puerto Rican Rum. Says, to be fair, this was Tank's homecoming. He hasn't fought in the DMV area in years. All right. Says, salute. Shout out to G Funky. The boxing glove. Hit my like button. Let's move on. All right. We're going to move on. Anyway, moving on. I don't believe the numbers. And nobody could tell me, really quick, the economy's bad. Okay, well, the economy is so bad, why did they do 5 million at the gate? I mean, piracy on the internet has been going on for the last 3-4 years already, right? The fire sticks been around, right? Nobody wanted to see this fight. That's like half of pay-per-view fights. Nobody wants to see them, and they sell it to us. Like, you could apply this to almost all the pay-per-views they've been doing on us. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Right here it says, popularity is regional, not global. Therefore, perspectives are skewed by fandoms. All I will say is this. That was a great point by Puerto Rican Rum. It's a homecoming, so that's why it packed the arena. But all the things people are telling me, the economy's bad, people could barely afford a loaf of bread. Guys, I know the economy's bad, but it's not the Great Depression either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you stop? Can people stop? All right? Yes, I know inflation's been going up for years. All right? I understand it's bad. I'm not saying it's great, but we're not in the Great Depression either. I don't see lines of people like lining up to get like soups in a corner. Okay, like all I'm saying is, if the argument is about a bad economy, then there's no reason this shit should have done 5 million at the gate. Then, all right. At times are that tough, like so only the privileged people, all of them wanted to go see this fight, and all showed up, all 19,000. Right, bought plane tickets, booked hotel rooms. Maybe they are in the DMV, that they drove in traffic. All this stuff just to go ahead and watch this fight. That is ridiculous. Oh, the economy's not good. And now all these are factors, but it's not going to explain why 99% of the time the pay-per-view revenue is going to do more, all right, than the revenue at the gate across the board. And you can follow it. It's a trend, guys. What's the highest grossing gate of all time? Mayweather Pacquiao. Do you want to take a wild guess which is the highest selling pay-per-view of all time? Mayweather Pacquiao. Do you want to guess how much more it did in revenue than at the gate? It did like over 70 million at the gate, almost 600 million on pay-per-view. What is the highest? Second highest gate? McGregor Mayweather. Do you want to take a guess? What is the second highest grossing pay-per-view of all time? Mayweather McGregor. All right? And it did more than it did at the gate. Several times more. I went over the Golovkin-Canelo examples, okay? I don't know what to tell you. What do you guys want me to tell you? Fury Wilder. It had celebrities. They showed up. 19 million at the gate. Or 18 million, whatever it was. 17 and 19 million, somewhere around there. It did more on pay-per-view revenue, that second fight. The same with the third. You could go across the board. All those stadium fights in the UK. The gate doesn't do as much as it does on pay-per-view. This is always the case, regardless of the economy, if we're in a recession, if there's a stock market crash, if the economy is booming, if there's a Republican as president, Democrat as president, if we're at war, times of peace, you name it, it's always been the same. Same trend. There's going to be exceptions, but what a coincidence that this is the exception. Now, at a very convenient time. I'm just putting it out there. Disney on Ice sells out as well, says Nando Llamas. That ain't cheap to go to either. All right? Disneyland has increased prices. People are still going to Disneyland. Right? Food prices have gone up. People are still eating. We're not starving out here, okay? Gas prices go up. People are still driving around. People in Texas, oh, the prices, they're too high. Oh, my God. And they're driving like a fucking dually. Shit's insane. Hit the like, please, says the Queen Righty Yogi, she says. Economy was dire in the 1970s, and that was one of the most popular era of U.S. boxing. All this, the economy, piracy, all these things always existed. Always. These things have always been a factor. The price of eggs in Chicano property, they've gone up. People still eating their eggs, though. I'm just saying. Restaurants charging more than ever. I still see I see the suckers packed still. So I'm not saying the economy is the best it's ever been or nothing like that, but the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, we're not in the Great Depression either. Okay, like just relax, and people relax, please. All right. Anyway, moving on. Let me put that graphic up right now. Hispanic Causing Panic every Monday. Hit that bell button so you're notified when we come on live. All right. 1 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Do not miss it. All right? Check it out. Here's the deal. Inoue, let me talk about boxing drifters talking UFC like Teddy Atlas, and I see some of y'all over here on YouTube. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. All right? And I got to call one of them out. He's my dude. He's a cool dude and all. I got to call out dudes like Lion Killer. All right? Look, man, we can't get on boxing promoters for not paying fighters like Crawford, but then excuse the UFC. All right? And what they're doing to Ngannou. It's just crazy. If a boxing promoter let go of a fighter because he didn't want to pay him more than $400,000 a fight, I mean, we wouldn't hear the end of it. It's crazy. Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. You just can't. Let them go because they don't want to pay him more. Lying and say, oh, you don't want to fight. We have a lot of disgruntled boxing fans that are angry with the sport of boxing, and then they talk up the UFC, not because they're fans of UFC, because they want something to shit on boxing with. So they use the UFC to shit on boxing. That's what they do. That's the blueprint. Teddy Atlas is doing it right now, right? Running around, only brings up boxing when he thinks there's a robbery. Doesn't bring up all the bad decisions in the UFC. Doesn't care about them. Okay? Cares nothing about them. They don't, like, Teddy Atlas don't give a shit about UFC. He uses the UFC to shit on boxing. We have a lot of boxing drifters out here, okay, that don't call out the UFC and Dana White for their bullshit. All right? Let me ask you this. If Bellator picks up Ngannou and he becomes the Bellator world champion, right? And let's say John Jones becomes a UFC champion, right? Are you gonna be consistent like you are with boxing? When you call out the PBC and Top Rank and you call out, Eddie Hearn or whatever when they don't want to work together, or De La Hoya, we get on these promoters and come on, work together, make these fights happen, no excuses. Oh, I don't want to hear this no crossing the street bullshit. Are you going to get on Dana White for not crossing the street? What if Bellator says, you know what, we got it. We'll pay Ngannou. You pay John Jones. Let's work together. Let's make a pay-per-view. Are you going to get on the UFC? Do you do not want to see that fight? Is that not important to watch? Are you not going to do that? I think you should be holding them just as accountable. Because all you do is praise Dana White, but it's easy to be Dana White when you're paying these guys nothing compared to what the boxing promoters need to pay the stars. All right? I mean, Aaron will make all these fights happen too if he just had to pay these guys $100,000. All right? At Top Rank, just have to fork out 20% of the revenue to the fighters. Shit, they'll be giving the stat cards too. Right? But you want to go out here, you want to pretend, you want to hold boxing promoters accountable for everything, but you will not hold Dana White accountable for nothing. And when a fighter says, look, man, I want more control over my career, I want sponsorships, nah, you ain't going to get shit. And y'all stay silent. Silent like church mice is what you do, right? You'll speak out because Crawford was disgruntled with Top Rank, even though he was getting like $8 million a pop. Okay, money that Ngannou can't even sniff right now. Right? But you want to get on boxing promoters. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you have to have the same energy for the fucking UFC for Dana White, which you don't have. Okay, that's the reality. That's just the truth. Oh, but he gives us a lot of fights. Look, Bob Arum will be giving us a lot of fights too if he just had to pay these guys peanuts. So it is what it is. If how many Lomas versus Teofimo type events will we have if he just had to pay them like $100,000? I mean, I'm just saying. And I'm not here advocating for shit. Half of these UFC fighters get mad when people bring up the fact that they get paid peanuts. Oh, well, who are you? I'm happy with the one I'm making. Okay, then stay happy over there. All right? Simple as that. As simple as that. Well, Jesus Sam, well, that's true. They at least make 50% of the revenue. They're only making about 10 to 20% of revenue in the UFC. So if you want that much control, then they should compensate them. But hey, they don't want to be compensated. Okay, they don't. Got that Patty dude kissing ass with Dana White and attacking Ariel Helwani and all this other dumb shit. They don't want to get paid. Let them get ripped off. It doesn't matter to me. Boxing is king anyway. Boxing is where the money's at. Okay. And all you boxing fans trying to advocate for UFC pay and fuck all, who gives a fuck? Let them make their peanuts because boxing's king. You want boxing to be where all the money's at. You want boxers to be the highest paid combat athletes. That's what you should want. What are you doing over there? Oh, the UFC. Oh, like, who gives a fuck? Okay? Anyway, that's that. Inoue versus Fulton. I love this fight. Inoue became undisputed at 118. He wants to move up and he wants to conquer another division, right? They got on it. Top Rank's got money. So the investors and promoters of Inoue in Japan got money. And that's why that fight's going to happen over there. PBC got no money, right? PBC's out of money. Like that's why they're doing so many pay-per-view fights, all right? So since they got the money, they got the leverage, you got to go where the money's at, okay? So Fulton's going to go be the B side over there. That's the way it is, right? But he might be the B side, though, but this is his neighborhood, though. It is his fucking division, right? He's a naturally bigger dude. I'm sure he's got an ego. He don't want no dude just showing up and taking over his division now. So I believe that's why Fulton wants to fight him. I'll show the world I'm the king of 122. right? And that's why I think he has faith in his abilities. I think he believes he could beat Inoue. Inoue obviously feels he could move up another division and conquer that division. So I think this is a great fight. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm not going to give a prediction yet, but I will say it's a great fight. All right. It looks like Top Rank ESPN's going to carry it over here. Obviously, there's going to be rights in Japan. I believe the fight will be in Japan. It should be a great fight. This is a type of fight we need and want. And I really hope it goes through, right? From my understanding, they've agreed to terms, but we all know how that works. You never know. Could the PBC get in the way and not allow this fight to happen? I don't know, right? We will see, okay? But that's that. You know what I mean? We'll wait for that. I'm sure they'll bring that up on the roundtable, so you guys, tune into that tonight on Ringside Reporter. Make sure you're there, and all that. Look. Another fight they announced, Plant Benavidez. I love the fight. I just believe the fight should be on Showtime. The fight should be on Fox. The fight should be on Free TV. They're going to put it on pay-per-view. Now, if I had an option, pay-per-view or nothing, then you know what I mean? But I guarantee one thing. Whatever it does at the gate, it's going to do more on pay-per-view. Because that's what always happens. I just want to put that out there, okay? Unless there's a new trend, and things have changed. I don't know. Okay? I'm just saying. But I love the fight. That one I will straight up say, I think it's a good fight. I think both are capable of beating the other, but I'm going to favor Benavidez. I think Benavidez's pressure by round 5 or 6 is going to start to take over. He might be behind the scorecards. It might be 3-2 plan or something. But then I think he's going to take over after round 5, and the pressure's going to mount. And I think Benavidez is going to overwhelm Plan and stop him late. Like stop him maybe around 9, 10. I think he'll stop him. I think Plan should win that fight. But it's on pay-per-view. Yes, Joe Lopez. Is whatever. You know what I mean? But it's PBC got no money. They're slicing their budget, bro. You know what I mean? They're not producing for all. I'm just saying. Yeah, Rayo Cobra, I believe, is on as well as the Sim. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's on. I have seen the Rayo people mention a lot on Instagram, so I'm pretty sure it's a go. Shout out to JC. Look, guys, I don't want to be on too long. I have a long day ahead of me, but I just want to go ahead, give my thoughts really quick on all this. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you like the content. Hit that bell so you're notified when I come on live. And remember, Hispanics Causing Panic every Monday. Cada lunes. This is DStyle. I'm out, guys. Peace.